Who'd have thought that a big smelly bowl and getting hit by a car could unlock the secret to losing 20, 40, or even 70 plus pounds? Here's the full story. Oh, great. I'm dead. Wait. No. How did I wind up on the ground? Ah, my leg. What just happened to me? Lying there on his back, he was in so much pain. He had just been hit by a car and couldn't help but realize if being 40 pounds overweight was hard before, then what just happened pretty much guaranteed it was about to get a lot harder. However, as I'll share with you in a sec, he was dead wrong. In fact, a few months from this very moment, he was 43 pounds lighter, fitter than he'd ever been in his life, and it's all thanks to an enormous, smelly bowl and getting hit by a car. Now, I know this may sound confusing. However, as it turned out, getting hit by a car led him down a path to discover a story about a big smelly bull. I guess you could call it an ancient trick that contains a life-changing, fat-burning secret, long forgotten by modern fitness circles, that you can start using today so you can unlock your fat loss potential and lose 20, 40, or even 70 plus pounds without going to the gym and without following a strict diet that nobody can stick to. In fact, all you have to do is follow the 3 simple diet rules that I'll share with you in this video. Don't believe me? Then check out what happened to Patricia when she started using this secret. Yep, this is a real transformation from Patricia. 71 pounds lost without going to the gym and by only using 3 diet tricks that are so simple, you'll kick yourself for not using them sooner. These 3 diet tricks won't have you radically changing your diet, you won't need to starve yourself, and you won't need to exercise 5 days a week for hours at a time. Nope, Patricia just used the secret from the story about the big smelly bull and made 3 simple, pain-free diet changes. Changes you'll learn in this short video, and by using them, Patricia melted 71 pounds off her body right in front of her eyes. You see, you might be just like Patricia. Maybe you know how it feels to have tried everything under the sun to lose weight and get your body back. Maybe you know how it feels to eat less, but still somehow pack on the weight, slowly getting more and more out of shape as time passes. If you do, then Patricia's story will be all too familiar. You see, Patricia spent years struggling with her weight. She tried every product, formula, workout plan, and diet known to man. And yet, for all her efforts, she never saw the results she wanted. In fact, I'll never forget the first time we talked. She told me how bad it had gotten, feeling insecure and depressed, desperately wanting to change, but never being able to lose weight or feel happy with how her body looked. She even told me about the times that she even gained weight while trying to lose it. It went on and on this way, over and over, a painful cycle, until one day, the number on the scale was too much for her to bear. Then, she watched this exact video that you're watching right now, used the secret contained in the story about the smelly bull I mentioned, and followed the 3 simple diet tricks I'm going to teach you. And the result was, her body and her whole life was completely transformed. Even better, Patricia told me that she feels beautiful again. She ended up losing 71 pounds by using 3 simple diet tricks and spending around 39 minutes a week exercising in the comfort of her own home. And the best part is, she's not the only one. Paula used these same 3 diet tricks and the secret you're about to learn and lost 16 pounds, going from a 32.5-inch waist to a 29-inch waist in just 6 weeks. Chris Springer did too, and he lost 20 pounds with just 3 simple diet changes and about 39 minutes of exercise a week. Or Dee Dee Connors, who lost a whopping 21 pounds in just 50 days, transforming the way she looks and feels. Even more amazing is that the trick I'm about to share with you, the one from the big, smelly bull, works on anyone, young or old, whether you have fat to lose or lean muscle and strength to gain. Take Greg Wakefield, for example, who got abs for the first time in his life, all in just 7 weeks. Or Karen Potter, who lost 13 pounds and 13 inches in just over a month. She looks amazing, right? And you can too, which is what you're going to discover today. You see, what most people don't know is the myth that you can't eat your favorite foods, or that the only way to get fit is by joining one of those super challenging boot camps is a total lie. You can eat cake, pizza, pasta, candy, and ice cream. Heck, you can even drink your favorite alcohol. You don't have to join a super challenging boot camp or kill yourself all to lose weight. As I'll show you in a sec, most of what you've been told is a lie. And when you know the truth, you can sidestep all the fat loss myths that are keeping you trapped in a body that you don't completely love. The bottom line is, I believe you deserve better, which is why, over the last year and a half, tens of thousands of people from all over the world have used the 3 simple diet tricks and the secret I'm going to share with you today, a secret handed down to me from a boy who got hit by a car and from a big, smelly bull. Before I get to that, let me introduce myself and clear the air a little. My name is Tyler Bramlett, and I'm a popular online personal trainer who spent his adult life uncovering the truth about what works and what doesn't when it comes to losing fat and transforming your body. I like to think of myself as one of the good guys, because you and I both know that there are way too many snake oil salesmen in the fitness and fat loss industry. People who unethically jam unreliable information down your throat in the name of profits for themselves. These same companies do everything in their power to keep your attention on them and away from people like me who are actually trying to help you. In fact, before I discovered the secret you're about to learn, I was just like you, fed up and frustrated with my results. Fed up and frustrated with the entire weight loss industry. I've even seen how dark it can get firsthand. You see, my brother, a small gym owner in San Diego, was sued by one of the largest weight loss companies in the world. And why? Their reason was because they felt like he was trying to infringe on their work, when in reality, he was just trying to start a gym to help people lose weight. He was using the same philosophy that you'll learn in this video, and his clients were getting great results, without hype, without gimmicks, and without unsustainable diets and workouts. And for some reason, the way he helped people lose weight and get into the best shapes of their lives was intimidating to this giant company. So, they unfairly sued him. Look, I can't tell you how many times I've found that big companies are terrified of smaller, more ethical business owners like my brother and me, who actually show people the real way to lose weight and keep it off. So, I'm well aware of the risk that I'll be taking by putting this information out there for you to learn for free. After all, if this same company gets wind that I'm teaching you how to lose up to 71 pounds with 3 easy diet tricks and less than 39 minutes of exercise a week, I might end up in the courtroom just like my brother. However, this is a risk I'm willing to take so I can prove to you that I'm one of the good guys. And to build your trust, I'm also going to reveal the top 7 fat loss mistakes or lies that are making you gain weight rather than lose it. These 7 fat loss mistakes are also the #1 reason people get injured while exercising. So if you're over 35 and want to lose weight without wrecking your body in the process, then you absolutely must avoid these 7 fat loss mistakes at all costs. If all you do is avoid these 7 fat loss mistakes, use the secret I learned from the big smelly bull, and apply the 3 simple diet tricks, by the end of this video, you'll be on the fast track to transforming your body and losing pounds of fat, all in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite TV show. But first, to understand how that big stinky bull I keep telling you about contains the secret that forces your body to lose 20, 40, or even 70 plus pounds, we need to go back to where it all began. Here he is, the fat kid that taught me everything I know about fat loss. And yes, that's hot chocolate in his hand and even some chocolate on his arm. So, as you can see, this young boy started down a bad path to becoming overweight at a very early age. Many years had passed, and this young boy had turned into a young man. However, nothing had changed in his body. He was still fat, he still hated the way his belly looked, and even worse, having grown up in an unhealthy family, he thought that there was no hope for him. He'd probably still be overweight if he hadn't almost died that fateful day. It was beautiful and sunny outside, the type of day that made you feel like you had to embrace the sunshine. This young man had recently decided that enough was enough. It was time to take charge of his life, to lose the fat that had literally been weighing him down. At the time, he was about 40 pounds overweight, and from what he had read in the magazines and seen on TV, he figured the best thing to do was as much exercise as possible. So, instead of drive to work, he decided to do the right thing and ride his bike instead. Now, by the end of this video, you'll understand why riding your bike and jogging are actually the worst ways to transform your body. These types of exercises can actually damage your heart, make your bones more brittle, and destroy your metabolism, making it nearly impossible for you to lose fat. I'll give you the details in a sec, but first, let me tell you what happened next. While riding his bike home from work, the young man found himself daydreaming about how he'd look once he was finally lean. No more fat around his belly, his thighs wouldn't be so thick and jiggly. He got excited about being able to go to the beach in the summer, feeling confident about his appearance and the looks he'd get from others. Have you ever done that before? Fantasized, even for just a sec, about how good you'd look if you could just lose those extra pounds? Well, that's how he felt on that beautiful sunny day. Then, it happened. In one instant, his daydream disappeared as something big and powerful knocked him from his bike. He heard a bone-chilling crunch as he smacked the pavement. Blinking his eyes as he came to, he looked around aimlessly, wondering what had happened. All he could remember was the voice of a paramedic saying,
"Remain still, sir. You've just been hit by a car."
A lot of what happened next was a blur. In and out of consciousness, he heard the sirens ring, but all he could do was lie on the hard concrete in searing pain. He had hit a new rock bottom. After the dust had settled, and after a full day in the hospital, he ended up in a wheelchair for nearly 12 weeks with a severely damaged knee. Doctors told him he was lucky to have survived. He could at least find some joy in knowing that others who had been in the same position weren't so lucky. However, he still had to learn how to walk again, which ended up being not only a very painful process, but the start of a journey that led him down the path to uncover the truth about losing fat. But things didn't start so optimistic for him. You see, if you've ever sat in deep thought about how dissatisfied you are with your life and your appearance, then you can only imagine what 12 weeks of being in a wheelchair with nothing but food to comfort you might do. He had gone from fat to fat and struggling to lose weight, to fat, struggling to lose weight, and stuck in a wheelchair, with no hope in sight and very little motivation. Even worse, after 16 weeks of rehab, and after having to relearn how to walk, he was discharged by the therapist's office with a clean bill of health. The only problem was, every step he took, every time he sat down or stood up from a chair, and every time he tried to do the simplest exercise, he was in extreme pain. A young man with little hope, an arthritic knee that prevented him from doing any real exercise. And yet, something inside him stayed positive. Through every hardship, he took it as another obstacle to overcome. And over the next few months, he not only conquered his devastating injury, he ended up learning an ancient story about a bull that turned conventional wisdom on its head and allowed him to completely transform his body. How do I know so much about this young man? Because he was me 13 years ago, struggling to find my way, but persevering regardless, trying everything under the sun to fix my body and failing more times than I'd like to admit. I can remember it so clearly, like it was yesterday. The therapist telling me to do basic exercises like squats, an exercise that should be easy for a man my age, but instead left me limping for days afterwards. And I simply wouldn't accept that as the story of my life. So I took matters into my own hands. I scoured the internet for months in search of something to help me. I started studying everything I could get my hands on. I even ended up traveling the world to learn from some of the top coaches, trainers, scientists, and therapists in the world. I studied with a circus acrobat, a bodybuilding champion, a kettlebell coach, and many others. The bottom line is, I was obsessed with knowing the truth. And what I discovered is, most of what you're being told is a flat-out lie. But there was one common thread that all my coaches and mentors had, a secret that none of them even knew they were using. And once I heard the story of the big stinky bull, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I knew this was going to change my life and the lives of everyone I shared it with. After I had this realization, I immediately put it into practice. Within weeks, my pain was decreasing. My knee was getting stronger. My entire body, from head to toe, was starting to look fit and toned for the first time in my life. And all that extra weight that I'd been trying so hard to lose was starting to melt right off. Before figuring out the secret to the fitness guru's success, I used to think that I had little hope of losing those last 40 pounds. Before the accident, I always felt and looked disgusting in my own eyes. After the accident, even simple exercises left me in pain for a long time afterwards. However, once I uncovered this one secret, which I later realized is the same secret that women and men used thousands of years ago to sculpt the amazing bodies you see in Greek and Roman statues, I knew I was onto something. You see, every mainstream exercise system neglects to use this one secret that you're about to learn. And it's the same secret that my friend Roger used to go from this to this losing 24 pounds of pure fat, doubling his strength, and even reducing his type 2 diabetes in the process. He did this all in just over 1 month. And he's not the only one. Sarah used the same secret to go from this to this, losing 17 pounds she was never able to lose any other way, and shedding 5 inches off her waist and hips in just 48 days. Just imagine what your body will look like when you use this secret too. I'll share it with you in a few moments, but before I do, I wanted to make sure you know the 7 fat loss mistakes that I tried that failed me. This way, you can avoid the pain I had to go through by letting me be your advanced warning system, so to speak. Just promise me that you'll avoid these 7 fat loss mistakes like the plague, because you'll never obtain your vision of a leaner version of you if you keep making even one of these critical exercising errors. Okay? Let's dive in. Fat loss mistake number 1, cardio and working out more. If you think that you're going to lose more fat because you're doing a lot of cardio and because you're working out more frequently, think again. The truth is, after you've been working out for a little while, your body starts to adjust to your workout schedule. The more calories you burn, the more calories your body wants to consume. It's a compulsive eating response that you simply can't avoid when you work out more. And this is why many people gain weight while exercising. Put simply, working out more often will help you to maintain your fat because you'll be more hungry. So it's not as simple as you think. Working out more and doing more cardio is not the answer to losing fat. Another bad thing about extended cardio is that it's been scientifically proven to be very bad for your heart. In fact, the National Institute of Health has made it clear that less exercise is better for you. And people who run super long distances and overuse cardiovascular exercises drop dead all the time. For example, in 2015, an otherwise healthy North Carolina holistic dentist died when training for a marathon. I'm not trying to scare you. I just want to keep you safe. The bottom line is, you don't need more cardio. You don't even need a gym. And this leads me to the next fat loss mistake. Fat loss mistake number 2, joining a gym. We all know people who have joined the gym as a New Year's resolution, and they all have great intentions, right? The thing is, gyms are full of equipment that won't do you a lick of good in the long run. See, the most effective types of workouts use bodyweight exercises and free weights. Used properly, bodyweight exercises and free weights strengthen multiple parts of your body at the same time. For example, when you do a safety squat, you're strengthening your legs and your core simultaneously. Imagine working your cardio, fat loss, leg muscles, butt muscles, and abs all at the same time. This is something that you can never get when using the typical, complex, ineffective gym equipment. Another thing that prevents you from losing weight at the gym is that going to the gym isn't a strategic step-by-step roadmap for losing weight and keeping it off. Most gym goers burn about 300 calories and then go eat more calories than they just burned. And after a year, the average person isn't losing any more weight just by going to the gym. You can lose more weight by working out at home and learning how to properly use any weights that you own. Speaking of weight training, let's talk a little bit about fat loss mistake number 3. Fat loss mistake number 3, weight training. We all know that building muscle by lifting weights is a time-honored tradition. You can't really argue with it. You absolutely can lessen the amount of fat on your body by building muscle, but there's a catch to it. In order to build muscle, you have to lift really heavy weights. And everyone knows that you don't start out in weightlifting by lifting heavy weights, right? You have to build up to that. In the meantime, while you're building up to it, there are a lot of other things you need to be doing as well. Long story short, weightlifting is not the fat buster you think it is. And if you make weightlifting your primary way to lose fat, it's going to take you a long time. And you're going to be very frustrated along the way. The reason why is, you may end up looking fatter for a period of time. Picture this. Look at your arm right now and notice the fat on it. Now, if you build muscle under layers of fat, what do you think your arm will look like? You haven't burned the fat yet, so muscle just adds to the thickness of your arm. And who wants that? You most certainly don't, which is why trainers in recent years have been trying to advocate for workouts that burn fat and build lean muscle at the same time. One of these systems is our next myth. Fat loss mistake number 4, muscle confusion. If you've heard of muscle confusion, you already know that it's designed to regularly switch up your workouts so your body doesn't get used to the exercises you're doing. Unfortunately, what you might not know is there is no study proving the effectiveness of muscle confusion. What has been proven, however, are what I call progressive movements. More on that in a sec. But think about this when you consider muscle confusion. Imagine you're trying to get a good college-level education. So your university introduces a muscle confusion-based learning environment for its students. You learn one subject for 2 minutes at a time, 2 minutes of French and 2 minutes of art, and 2 minutes of biology, followed by 2 minutes of engineering, and then 2 minutes of physical education, and finally 2 minutes of literature. And then you're done for the day. Well, I don't know about you, but that's no way to learn. Surprisingly, your brain works the same as your body. It needs some level of focus, some sort of method to the madness that forces your body to learn and adapt. I'm going to tell you about what I call automatic adaptation in a moment, but you need to know right now that confusing your muscles is not the way to grow them or to burn fat. It is, however, a way to create plateaus. Since you now know that muscle confusion doesn't work, let's talk about bodyweight training, because it's popular and it can work, but only if you learn it the right way. Fat loss mistake number 5, bodyweight training. I happen to be lucky enough to have learned bodyweight training from a professional bodyweight trainer and a circus acrobat. And I have to say, bodyweight training works, but you'd better know what you're doing. You see, bodyweight training works only when you can fully support your own body's weight to do the exercises. And like weight training, you have to be able to do difficult exercises that use a lot of muscle in order to see results. Which is why if you start doing bodyweight exercises, I highly recommend you have a step-by-step plan to become really good at it. Which is where most people fail with bodyweight exercises. The average person isn't born with seriously powerful full body strength. So if you can't do lots of reps of difficult exercises like pull-ups and squats on just one leg, then you'll likely never see real results. So maybe you've considered doing high-intensity interval training, otherwise known as HIIT. After all, it's probably the most popular fat loss workout around these days. So here's what I think. Fat loss mistake number 6, high-intensity interval training. Let me just break this down to you as quickly as I can. High-intensity interval training is not relevant or healthy for the average person, and here's why. High-intensity interval training was specifically designed for high-performance athletes, and unless you're a high-performance athlete, high-intensity interval training is a sure recipe for getting injured while exercising. A combined study done by McMaster University's Department of Kinesiology and the University of Melbourne's Department of Physiology showed that high-intensity interval training is best for young, healthy people and elite endurance athletes, not for people over 35, and certainly not for someone with injuries. Trust me, I've tried it and it's not worth the risk. It can also damage your heart and lead to massive muscle loss, and it can be brutal on your central nervous system. Don't risk it. High-intensity interval training isn't the best way to lose fat anyways. However, progressive movement is. It's about time I shared the old story about a big, smelly bull. So make sure you pay close attention all the way to the end, because I'm about to tell you how you can really melt fat from your body and keep it off for good. Approximately 2,600 years ago, a strong man named Milo was born in the ancient Greek city of Croton. Young Milo grew up on a farm, and his family raised cattle for a living. Legend has it that Milo loved all the animals on his family's farm, and he even played with the calves or baby cows like they were beloved cats or dogs. But one calf in particular stood out above the rest as his favorite. Every day, Milo would go out to greet his friend, hug him, and lift him up over his shoulders, parading him around the farm, showing him off to everyone he met. And as the calf grew into a large bull, Milo didn't stop lifting him. Because the calf was getting a little bigger every day, Milo's body was receiving clear, progressive signals that made sure he was strong and lean enough to perform this daily task. Put plainly, as Milo was making minor progressions each day, his body worked with him and adapted to make him have one of the most amazing bodies in history. In time, Milo became one of the strongest men in the world and was even a military hero. This story holds a valuable lesson that is so profound and yet so simple that it has lasted the test of time for over 2,600 years after Milo died. The secret is simple. Form follows function. You see, the average workout program simply gives you basic workouts and exercises with no understanding of how they affect your body. The realization I had after training with some of the best trainers, therapists, and coaches in the world is that they all use this secret. The best of the best subconsciously knew it. It's not about the big changes you make. Those types of changes never work. It's the small signals you send your body by making tiny shifts in your workouts that will get you the real results you want. And they will get you there twice as fast with less than half the effort or half the time you'd usually spend. You see, the secret to consistent and maintained fat loss is knowing the adaptation signals you are sending your body with each movement. What I mean is, your body always attempts to adapt to your movements. If you sit with bad posture, your hip flexors and upper back will tighten up, your core muscles will shut off, and you'll feel weak and unstable. This is an example of a bad adaptation. However, if you can learn to use the correct combination of progressive movements, your body will adapt, get fit, melt fat, and be beautiful, just the way nature intended. To make this even easier to understand, let me ask you a quick question. How do you think your upper body would look if you could only do 5 push-ups on your knees? You'd probably feel pretty weak and flabby. You'd probably have bingo arms that flap from side to side when you wave your arm in the air and say bingo. All in all, it's not likely you'll have an amazing looking body, right? However, what if you had a safe and proven roadmap that over the course of a few weeks would teach you how to go from those 5 kneeling push-ups to 5 or more full push-ups? How do you think your upper body would look then? I bet that your abs, arms, and even chest look leaner and more defined by following a plan like this. Don't you agree? You see, every time you look at your body in front of a mirror, the way you look is a reflection of the signals you've sent your body during your day. If you don't work out, you're sending signals to have poor muscle tone, piles of extra fat, and little if any cardiovascular strength. And if you're working out incorrectly, using one or more of the fat loss mistakes I debunked before, then you're still likely sending wrong or scattered signals to your body that never force your body to adapt by burning fat and building lean, useful muscle. Instead, as I'll show you in a sec, when you use what I call progressive movements, you'll send loud and clear signals, telling your body to tighten your butt, give you flat, trim abs and a smaller waistline, and to melt unwanted fat in record time. Progressive movements are what professional athletes, gymnasts, and elite coaches use to train. However, you don't need to be a professional athlete in order to get amazing results in your own body. The bad news is, until now, this information hasn't been made available to the public because it's too complex. Heck, even the world-class coaches that I paid thousands to learn from didn't really understand it. Yet, they used it every single day to build the world's best bodies. However, not one of them had a name for it or a step-by-step system that taught normal or even injured people how to use it. So, that's what I decided to do, to take all the lessons that transformed my body, that healed the broken knee my doctor said would never fully heal, and put together a roadmap for normal people to get the real results they wanted, without risking injury, without having to spend hours in the gym, and without having to go on some extremely challenging diet. You see, the way that pro athletes get such high levels of success and the reason they have such perfect bodies is because they have access to a custom series of workouts, each one just a tiny bit harder than the one before it. Just like the story of Milo and the bull, these workouts send loud and clear signals to the body to burn fat, causing what I like to call automatic adaptation. And automatic adaptation can work for you just like it worked for Patricia. Remember her? Like I shared earlier, Patricia had struggled with her weight for many years until she finally reached a breaking point.
I was sitting in my car and I put my visor down and I went to look at something and I looked down at my stomach and my stomach was resting on my legs. And I was like, no. When you get to that weight, as a woman, you start to feel unattractive and like just not even feminine, because I was wearing sweats and t-shirts and tennis shoes. That's all I wanted to wear because that's all I felt comfortable in because it covered everything up.
The numbers on her scale became too much for her to live with, so she decided to do the same thing you are doing right now. After struggling to lose the extra fat that had been literally weighing her down,
I had given up on so many different workout programs, and I have spent, wasted I don't know how much money on stuff I haven't used.
Trying everything from jogging to weight training and every diet under the sun, she stumbled upon this website, used the secret of progression contained in the story of Milo and the bull. She decided to avoid the 7 fat loss mistakes that you already discovered and followed the 3 simple diet tricks that you're about to learn. As a result of discovering how to use automatic adaptation to her advantage, Patricia lost 71 pounds using the very same program that I'm about to share with you. She only worked out a total of 39 minutes or less per week.
I'm 30 and I have not been this size since I was in middle school. I weighed in today and I'm down 70 pounds. Being able to finally get the weight off, my back doesn't hurt anymore. But you can see definition in my stomach.
Right.
And that never had that.
And that's not even the best part. The best part is that she was able to lose the weight and keep it off, all while making only 3 slight changes in her diet that I'm going to share with you right now. You see, now that you know the best way to exercise is by using progressive movement, let's call out the elephant in the room. One of the biggest obstacles that's preventing you from seeing results is your diet, right? Let's face it, most diets are hard. Paleo, vegetarian, low carb, low fat, vegan, Mediterranean, or any other fad diet out there requires a ton of discipline. However, after learning how powerful progressive movement can be on sending loud and clear signals to your body to adapt, burn fat, and grow stronger, I knew there needed to be a simple approach to diet that could help normal people. People who are busy, tired, and don't have the time for complex diets that they will never stick to. So, I hit the drawing board, reading over 134 books on nutrition, experimenting on myself and my wife, trying everything from paleo to vegetarian, from low carb to low fat, Mediterranean to vegan, and just about everything in between. What I found was that every single diet contained the same 3 simple principles. And when you follow these 3 simple rules, you can see all the results of following a regular diet with 0 effort or willpower. Are you ready? Here they are. Rule number 1, drink more water. Yes, I know it sounds painfully simple. However, drinking enough water is one of the fastest ways to increase your metabolism, reduce sugar and hunger cravings, and prep your body for fast fat loss. Rule number 2 is to eat protein first. If you wake up in the morning and start your day off with carbs or sugar, your body will adapt by becoming a sugar burner. That's not what you want, right? You want to be a fat burner. To do so, your first meal of the day needs to be rich with protein and healthy fats. This will help you regulate blood sugar, which helps reduce the risk or effect of diabetes, all while flipping your metabolism into fat burning mode. Finally, rule number 3 is eat enough veggies. We've all heard it, right? Maybe it was your parents, a spouse, or someone on TV. We all know that eating more veggies is critical to losing more fat. However, if you don't love veggies or even know how to cook them, there's some awesome ways to hide veggies in your diet that I'll share with you in a sec. But first, take a quick moment to let those 3 simple rules soak in. Why has nobody ever told you these 3 simple rules before? Why does everything in the weight loss industry have to be so hard and confusing? The good news is, now you know. It doesn't have to be so hard and confusing. Losing weight can be simple, and when you use these 3 simple diet rules, along with the basic progressive movement workouts that I'm about to share with you, you'll see amazing results, just like me and just like Patricia. Even better news is, I have proof that this works on men and women of all ages, and it will work for you too, just like it worked for me. Even after going through multiple surgeries and months of physical therapy, I was still able to use these progressive movement workouts to completely transform my body, and that's what I want to teach you today. For over 13 years now, it has been my mission to meticulously learn and test hundreds of routines and combinations for maximum fat loss results. I handpicked the best performers, the techniques that consistently delivered the quickest and most dramatic results for me and my clients. And I combined them into one single system that anyone at any age and any level of physical fitness can follow step by step. This program is called the Cross Training 50, or just CT50 for short. CT50 is a system of progressive movement workouts. It gives you a clear, step-by-step roadmap to your most beautiful body, and it's designed to help you burn fat, tone muscles, and get as lean as you want to be as quickly as you want it, without risking injury, even if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or older. Remember, I use these workouts to not only burn fat, but to rehab a completely destroyed arthritic knee, all while doctors told me I'd never be the same. If you've ever been frustrated before, feeling like you can't keep up, then I created this for you. There are 50 total at-home workouts, and they're broken down into 5 different levels, with 10 workouts per level. Everyone begins at level 1, and you only advance once you have mastered the short and effective workouts in level 1. If you aren't ready, you simply cycle back through the workouts until you are ready to move up to the next level. I designed it so that it won't take up all your time. Just 39 minutes a week. Yes, 12 to 20 minutes per day, just 3 days a week. in the comfort of your own home. So here's what I want to give you today: the complete CT50 system. 50 full-length, high-quality follow-along workout videos designed with ease in mind. All you have to do is press play and follow along. 96 detailed video exercise tutorials where I break down every exercise taught in the system, teaching you the right way to do exercises so you never get injured and instead build a strong, lean, and pain-free body. A detailed and comprehensive manual that teaches you everything you need to know about progressive movement training and gives you the exact workouts you need in the exact order so you can finally see the results you want in your body. Also, this manual includes a complete meal plan that teaches you how to start with protein and hide more veggies in your diet so you can easily follow the 3 diet rules I shared with you before. And even a quick start guide where you'll get the basics of the system and learn even more simple diet tips to help you maximize your fat loss. Now, I know you're probably a bit skeptical, which makes complete sense. I was too at first, and I thought that maybe my results after my accident were a fluke. So I tested this out on dozens of people in my local area to see if I could achieve results for others in the same way that I had achieved them for myself. Here's what happened. Melissa lost a whopping 14 pounds, going from this to this in just 30 days. Dean lost 18 pounds and 4 inches off his waist, going from this to this in just 6 weeks. Allie dropped a phenomenal 21 pounds and 12 inches, going from this to this in just 4 short weeks. Kurt, after having a stroke and struggling to lose weight, dropped a full 7 inches from his waist and 28 pounds, going from this to this in just 40 days. Sandy got in the best shape of her life, losing the last 11 pounds, going from this to this in just 28 days. All in all, nearly over 100 people in my local community transformed their body using the same workouts that you're about to learn. Here's the big takeaways from this test. First of all, people don't tend to quit these workouts. You see, many workout programs are just too hard or too complex, which makes it extremely difficult to see real results, especially if you want those results without risking getting injured. With CT50, not only will you see results, you'll also see that this program is designed for anyone who wants to lose weight and get toned. People at any fitness level, at any weight, at any age can easily use it. The reality is, people don't quit CT50 because they end up getting what they wanted in a reasonable time frame and with reasonable expectations. CT50 will take you from where you are to where you want to be without making any of the dreaded fat loss mistakes I mentioned earlier. Another reason people get great results is CT50 is a complete system. You not only get 50 follow-along workouts and detailed instructional videos, you also get a complete meal plan and a lifestyle guide where I show you the easiest way to accelerate fat loss. I did this because I was fed up with gurus only delivering half the information. I understand that you are bombarded by false information, endless workouts with 0 results, exercises that can harm you, and dozens of crappy fad diets that are all way too hard for the average person to follow. I was bombarded by the same things, and it wasn't until the horrible accident that destroyed my knee that I was forced to take my own fat loss journey, to learn the truth about how to lose fat and build lean muscle, all while doubling my strength, becoming pain-free, and healing my broken knee when doctors told me it was impossible. So, instead of leaving you to fend for yourself, CT50 makes sure that you know what to eat and how to exercise for maximum results. Finally, progressive movement training is supported by the medical community. There's an arthritis association in California that believes progressive movement greatly benefits people, helping you to increase your balance and improve your posture, all while increasing your strength and flexibility. If progressive movement can work for someone suffering from joint inflammation and pain all over their body, it can do wonders for those of us who are relatively healthy, but just a bit out of shape or overweight. After testing it out and learning that people can't fail with progressive movement workouts, I finally felt confident that CT50 wasn't just another good exercise program. Simple fact is, it's a system that can be used by people from all walks of life. And I feel like it's my responsibility to help people because I've been blessed with a second chance at life and health when I could have been overweight for the rest of my life or even dead after my accident. The reality is, so many people never discover the truth about burning fat or losing weight, and they spend their entire lives resenting their body and feeling horribly unhealthy. Even worse, some people just settle for being fat, thinking that they can never change, believing that getting pudgy is just a part of life as you age. But you can love your body again. I did it, and you can too. Just like Rebecca Harper, who used these workouts to lose 19 pounds, a full inch off each arm and 4 inches off her waist and hips, all in just 7 weeks. Or Adam Southwick, who lost 16 pounds and 9 inches in just 50 days. Or Leslie, who lost a whopping 3.5 inches off her waist and 2 inches off her hips in just over a month. They did it, so why can't you? By now, I'm sure you're wondering what you'd have to pay to get access to the complete CT50 system. And I bet you'd expect to pay at least what you would for one of those popular infomercial workouts, right? After all, you're getting 50 full-length, high-quality, follow-along videos that I personally spent $50,000 creating. However, you're not going to have to pay 3 payments of $97. That's because I want this program to be very affordable for you, because you deserve to have the body you want. Look, the workouts you've been doing up to now have not worked, right? And there's a reason for that. The reason is they were misguided and not deliberate about getting your body to look the way you want it to look. But CT50 is a system that has worked out all the bugs for you. There's no mystery as to which workouts you will use or what order you'll use them in. Your CT50 fueled exercises will send your body the loud and clear message that it must burn fat quickly, all while toning your muscles. To put it simply, if you use these progressive movement workouts, your body will be forced to change. There is nothing else that it can do. If you simply follow the system, you are guaranteed to get the results you want. So let's dispense with the formalities. I'm going to make the entire CT50 system available to you for a one-time payment of just $37. Yes, you heard that correctly. The entire system is yours for less than the cost of a dinner for two at a nice restaurant. All you have to do is click the button below. After that, you'll be taken to our secure order page that is 100% encrypted and safe for online ordering. It will look like this. Just fill it out, and literally 1 minute from now, you can be following along to your first progressive movement workout, sending your body loud and clear fat-burning signals, forcing it to adapt. Also, I like to reward people who move quickly. So, when you place your order today, I'm going to give you every single tool you need to succeed. Right now, as a special bonus, you'll also get the 5-day fast metabolism repair plan, where I show you exactly what to do over the next 5 days so you can lose up to 7 pounds immediately. The super fat loss smoothies, where I teach you how to make delicious smoothies that will help you burn fat faster. And the Power Isometrics Guide, where I'll introduce to you a simple method to increase strength, bone density, and muscle tone in just 3 minutes. I also have a few more bonuses in the download area for you to help you get the best results possible. Finally, you should know that I'm fully dedicated to helping you move past the fat loss mistakes that have been holding you back for so long. And I am confident that this system will work for you. So confident that if you try it for 60 days and it doesn't work, I will give you all your money back. Other people make soft guarantees where they hide the truth in some small print at the bottom, but my guarantee is different. I will be there for you every step of the way, answering your questions and giving you helpful advice. If at any point you aren't more than completely satisfied, I will personally get on my computer and click the refund button myself, and we can still be friends, no questions asked. Also, the fast action bonuses will still be yours to keep, just as my way of saying thank you for giving the program an honest try. And if you're still skeptical, then here's a short clip of what real people like you think about CT50 in their own words.
It's changed my life in a whole bunch of different ways. I've lost 15 pounds. I have lost inches off my body. I've lost 4 inches off my waist. I have pants that used to be too tight, now they're too loose.
I enjoy that the workouts were 20 minutes or less. It gives me plenty of time to go outside and play with my kids, play with my dogs, cook better dinners, eat healthier stuff instead of junk food all the time. I walk taller. I like the way I look and feel. I'm starting to see a lot of definition in my thighs and my abs.
I love CT50.
I couldn't be more thrilled with my results.
I've lost my muffin top. it's gone and I don't miss it at all.
It's just incredible the changes I've seen in myself since I started CT50.
CT50 is one of the best exercise systems I think I've ever bought.
That's what the result is. It's life-changing.
Nearly 120,000 people trust me for exercise advice on a daily basis, and I've put my heart and soul into CT50. So, now that you know the truth about how to transform your body, and you know exactly where to get a step-by-step guide to help you melt fat, sculpt your body, and lose that extra weight for good, what are you going to do about it? Who do you want to be? Your same self or your best self? If you choose to stay the same, you're going to continue trying the latest workout fads and paying for all the expensive workout gimmicks, only adding to your stress when you see little or no results again and again. Or you can choose to take charge of your life with the truth. In as little as 1 minute from right now, you can have everything you need to be in control of your weight loss. Simply click the button below and take that first step towards putting CT50 into motion. Once you're up and running, the system will take over and guide you every step of the way towards your permanently transformed body. Men and women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and older have proven that CT50 is an exercise program that can stand the test of time. It absolutely worked for them, and it will work for you too. Which leaves me with one final thing to share. I promised to share the 7 most common fat loss mistakes that people make. And before, I only shared 6 with you. That's because I saved the best and most important for last. The 7th mistake is learning the right thing to do and ignoring it. In this case, you now know that using the progressive movement workouts contained in CT50 can and will change the way your body looks and feels. And if you don't take action now, you'll be making a big mistake. Why not just give it a chance, even for just one workout? After all, if you're not 100% impressed, you can just email me directly and you'll get a full refund, no questions asked. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain if you just give CT50 a shot. Just click the button below and get started today. I promise you won't regret it.